Alrighty, guys. Hello and welcome to The Letter. I have no fucking idea what this game is. All I know is it's a visual novel, it's a horror-themed visual novel, and choices matter. Which, honestly, those are three things that I like, so. And I have no clue what the hell this is about, other than, you know, there's a curse. Hey, that's my name. Yeah. Run the background check. Difficulty. There's QuickTime in it? I don't know how well that's going to work with a computer, but okay. I'm going to die. I'm going to fail a fucking QuickTime event. It's like I'm going to be sitting there just like steadily pressing fucking spacebar, moving the text, and then all of a sudden fucking press tab, bitch! It's like, oh shit! Yeah. I got shit. Alright. Fucking hell, that scared the shit out of me. Why would you do that? It's the fucking start screen. Oh, okay. The Ermengarde... already? The Ermengarde Mansion. It was built for Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde of Luxbourne, humble ambassadors of peace and beloved by their people. Both were well known for their compassion and generosity, never failing to extend a helping hand to anyone in need. Under their influence and wealth, what was once a small, sleepy village grew into a prosperous, bustling town. However, the seasons of joy eventually ended when the good nobles perished at the hands of a great plague. Well, I don't know where this takes place, but I mean, those names, I can guess they were talking about something like, I don't know. I was about to say something stupid like the Spanish flu, which would make no goddamn sense because it's not a Spanish name. Okay. Their riches and legacy were henceforth passed on to their only child, Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion has stood since the 1620s, a witness to the very long history of joy and pain. After Lady Charlotte committed suicide, the great house was eventually left uninhabited. And that was when it began. Surrounding villagers spoke of seeing and hearing unearthly things, of cries and howls that filled the night with hearsay of a mysterious woman roaming the hallowed halls aimlessly. People who dared enter its walls were simply never heard from again. Even after 400 years, these stories remain, much like the house itself. Whispers about the once great house, its legend and its curse, still fall upon the villagers' ears. You know, this house has been around for 400 years, you know, this house looks pretty fucking good. I mean, seriously. In spite of this, the current owners are convinced that these stories are nothing more than a hoax. With little regard for the truth, oh fucking hell, backlog. With little regard for the truth, they had Brer Realty Corporation place the property back on sale. Like Pandora's box, the secrets that lie inside await to be discovered by brave souls. You got the wrong person if you're looking for brave whenever it comes to supernatural shit. Come on now. No matter what happens, take care not to be consumed by the curse. Good luck. When a game says good luck, that tells me everything I need to know. Isabella.
Hello? Isabella? Are you there? Where are you?
Oh, it's in English. Okay. A familiar, jittery voice comes from the other end.
Hey, Rose. I'm at St. Goretti High. What's the matter?
Thank God I don't have to do any fucking voice acting of my own. Seriously.
What do you mean, what's the matter? It's a mansion, silly. I'm here and you're late. Jeez, we're on shift together. You promised. Oh my God, please don't tell me you forgot. You were planning on leaving me to check this place out on my own, weren't you?
What's this? Undiscovered journal entry. Okay, so it looks like this takes place over the course of, say, about a week and a half. Alright, so let's see who she is. May 28th, Gemini, 26 years old. She's 26 and she's still in high school. Yeah, 5'2", real estate. I can't read that. That is a very weird font that they used. Whatever. Why do they need religion? But anyway, Roman Catholic, education, the fine arts undergraduate, like cinnamon rolls, dogs, food, police, police procedural dramas, and teleseries, comedies, and karaoke. I kind of don't want to read that, but meh.
You chickened out!
Calm down. You know I take my promises seriously.
I'd like to believe that. So hurry up and get here. This place is huge. A bit too quiet since no one's lived here since, like, forever, but beautiful nonetheless.
Why are you so surprised? This isn't the first time you've been there.
I know. I just wish I could live in a place like this.
I don't think you want to live there.
It really takes my breath away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Not after the rumors that say it's haunted.
Jeez, never mind those rumors. Ghosts aren't real after all.
She's gonna be the first to
And even
die.
if they are, which they are not, they can't do anything.
Tell that to the fucking bitch in Fear.
They're nothing but spirits.
You don't know that! They might be listening or watching right now, and they might not be happy with you enough to curse you.
No offense, sweetie, but that's a bit of a stretch.
Believe it or not, it's better to be careful.
Right. You know, not every property we sell will end up with a dead body stuffed in a sofa.
Did that happen?
And I think that mansion is where we'll likely find another one. I can feel it.
That was one time, Isabella. Loosen up.
Holy shit, that actually did happen.
Wait, just get here ASAP, please. I'm getting bored being here on my own.
Fine, fine. Let me just finish up here. I'll be right there soon.
Okay, see you. Bye.
She hangs up before I can respond. Who the fuck stuffs a dead body in the fucking sofa? Seriously. Shit, it's the middle of the day and I'm fucking tired. Rose, still charming as
Who was that?
none of your fucking business. Look up from English. I look up from my phone and see Rebecca, or Becca, giving me a question.
Oh, that? It's just Rose.
Rose? The one you said who trained you for your job back when you started? You're working together again?
Just for this property. We've been scoping out that big mansion down Anselm Village after the renovations. Today's sort of its grand opening to the public. The RC wants to give it one last check before we let potential buyers tour it this afternoon.
Wait, mansion? That big spooky one you've been telling everyone about? Didn't you keep saying how it just gave you the creeps? You actually went there? And you're going back?
Well, I did promise Rose I wouldn't ditch her. And besides, a job is a job. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
A lot of good money's gonna do if you get your ass fucking chewed off. As soon as those words leave my mouth, Becca lets out a soft.
What's so funny?
Nothing. It's just that I didn't expect you to say that. Coming from you, it sounds so out of character. I mean, no offense, but you've been freaking out about the place being creepy ever since you got assigned to it. Cursed rumors and all. I honestly thought you'd back out.
Not all the time. I could really use a huge amount of cash right now, and this is just the fastest way to get it. Plus, listen to this. Briar Realty wants it sold as soon as possible, and the agent who lands the deal is going to get a huge bonus!
I can see why they want it sold so soon.
They never give bonuses like that. Getting that would make life so much easier. They're desperate, I'm desperate, it's perfect.
A sympathetic look crosses her face.
You know, if you're really in urgent need of money, you could have just asked me. Or Ashton. We can always let you borrow, and you can pay us back whenever.
I have to keep myself from groaning out loud. In the years I've known her, I can already tell what to expect when she has that
Becca,
expression.
I've noticed that you've been living off instant noodles these past few weeks.
She crosses her arm and grimaces at the thought. Living off of noodles ain't exactly that bad. I mean, I've done it several times over the course of my fucking life, but okay. Her voice slightly rises as she begins to scold me. Instantly, I'm reminded why Becca excels at teaching boisterous teenagers.
Stop eating junk! They're cheap, but they're not good for you.
Cheap is good, so...
You'll definitely end up in the hospital if you keep at it.
Or with diabetes. Here we go again. What the hell? Oh, shit. I eat other things too, and you're not my mom.
Hey! I eat other things too.
Oh. Okay. I fold my arms across my chest, mimicking her posture and giving her the best frown I could muster, the same one I'd use with my younger siblings when they're being difficult. Instead, she only raises an eyebrow.
That's not going to work on me. And I saw it when you were cleaning your flat last week. The instant noodle cups outnumber everything else.
You're just exaggerating. Did you even see what's in my cupboard yet? I'm not just living on instant noodles alone. I've got canned beans, peas, tuna, ham, and even hamburgers in there.
Becca wriggling her nose, and by the time I got to the end of the small list, she even went a little green on the last one. I didn't even look at her face, but it's right. I would have laughed a little at that if I didn't know it would only lead to more reprimands from her.
Aren't those the same ones you won from the grocer's raffle more than a year ago? Oh, I sincerely hope you're checking the date stamps on those things before eating them. I don't want a repeat of last year. In any case,
last year?
Those are still not exactly healthier choices, Belle.
What are you talking about? Peas are fucking healthy. She shakes her head, possibly laughing at some funny, distant memory. When she looks up, I immediately brace myself. More words from her. Sometimes it's just better to let Becca talk until she's out of things to say. But when she turns her attention back to me, there's only warmth in her smile.
What am I going to do with you?
She says this more to herself than me, her voice shifting to something kinder, even motherly, if I'm looking for the exact word.
I hope you know that it's impossible not to worry about you when you're like this. You don't have to keep eating the same thing. I already told you before. You're always free to reheat food in my fridge.
Thanks, Becca. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to keep babying me. You've been taking care of me since after I moved here. You have to take a break sometime. And before you ask again, no. You know I'm not a fan of borrowing money. And I'm not going to ask you to give me what you earned hard for yourself.
You and your pride. But suit yourself. The offer stays on the table, though.
I nod in response, if only to get her to drop the topic. But I'm pretty certain I will never take that offer. Ever. It has nothing to do with pride. I've simply seen plenty of times how friendships can take a turn for the worst just because of a few unpaid debts. I don't want something like that to happen between me and Becca. We may argue a lot of small, petty things, and she already feels like a real sister to me. I don't want to lose that friendship over something so trivial. Becca's movements when she takes a quick glance at something behind me snaps me out of my thoughts.
Enough chit-chat. Lunch is ending, and my students will be back any minute. We can catch up later. Good luck with your clients. You better treat us to lunch or something if you get that sale.
You bet!
With a small smile, she returns to her desk and began sifting through the pages of a rather thick history book. Oh, she's a history teacher. She's probably working on the next week's lesson plan. Or trying, at least. Her eyes are distant, she doesn't seem too attentive to whatever's on the page. As if she heard my thoughts, Becca starts coughing heavily. Her hand hastily goes to her mouth to stifle the sounds. This is precisely why I followed her. For someone who makes a habit out of worrying about other people, Becca sure forgets how to take care of herself.
Hey, you sure you can manage on your own? I mean, you're still a bit feverish.
Hush, dear. Don't you worry about me. I'll just drink some medicine and I'll be right as rain.
I level a flat look at her. She has had a cold for more than a couple days now. Something about the strange weather not agreeing with her lately. And despite my English, damn. And despite my advice to take the week off and rest, I found her apartment empty when dropping by this morning. She even left the medicine her doctor prescribed. Look who's being stubborn now.
You shouldn't even be working right now.
Seriously, you big baby. I'll be fine. For now, just go to work and stop making that Rose girl wait for you. I'll call you if I still feel bad, and you can come pick me up if it makes you feel any better.
She offers me a reassuring smile and I can only sigh. Why do I even bother? There's no stopping her when she decides to do something. Defeated, I reach inside my bag and pull out the same bottle of medicine she left earlier. She looks at me warily whenever I place it in front of her. Unfortunately for her, this is one thing I'm not letting her have her way.
All right, but don't forget what the doctor said. Drink this on time. I'll see you later, okay?
With an amused gleam in her eyes, there is an amused gleam in her eyes when she shifts them back.
Look who's playing the mother hen now.
Rebecca!
Okay. I won't tease anymore. I'll make sure to drink it, Mom.
Before I can retort, she casts another look at the clock. I take that as a sign to finally end the conversation, to end my short visit. With a small wave, I leave her alone and to the class. The English. God damn, I can't read out loud for shit. I leave her alone to her classroom and her thoughts. Can we please get to the shit that actually is interesting, please? I hail a passing taxi and to take me to the property as soon as I leave the school grounds. Okay, well, shit, answer. Request received. The mansion is some ways out in the countryside, but I don't have any trouble giving the driver directions. Apparently, everyone in Luxembourg City knows of it, including every bit of rumor surrounding the place. In fact, just to mention the name is enough for locals to give you cautious sidelong glances. I learned that the hard way the first time I commuted here, and it only boosted my belief that there's something more to the house. Even the news of being renovated and placed back up on the market has caused quite a stir. Thankfully, it died down a few weeks later, and the place would have been a lot harder to sell otherwise. I avert my eyes from the window once the building shrinks in the distance. We get a glimpse of the countryside. Soon, enough to, although a quick glance at my watch tells me we're still a few minutes away from our destination. Might as well get some work done. Rose did ask me to review the mansion's documents. I already looked them over last night, but you never know when things may go wrong. Life has a way of messing things up like that. Oh, there goes my fucking Kindle. And my charger for my computer. Shit. Give me a second. Problem solved. Halfway through reading the papers, my phone rings. I pick it up without looking, neatly tucking it between my ear and shoulder. It's probably just
Rose?
Anyway.
Guess again.
That
Ash.
voice.
Bingo.
Hey, what's up?
Just checking if you're still cool later this evening.
You mean that thing with Zach?
Yeah. He even called in the middle of the night just to remind me.
No, don't worry. I didn't forget. I'll be there.
Cool. I'll see you later. What time do you get off?
Around 6 p.m.? I don't know. It's the first day of the Ermengarde Mansion's open house, and we're expecting quite a number of potential buyers. I'll be booked the whole afternoon.
Ermengarde Mansion?
You know, the big Jacobean mansion at Anselm Village. I'm on my way there right now, actually.
On your own?
Yeah, well, Rose is already there, but yeah.
I see. Looks like the scaredy cat finally toughened up.
Shut up!
Ash chuckles and I can't help but roll my eyes upon hearing it.
I'll see you later. Drop me a call when you're done. I'll see if I can pick you up.
Whatever. Bye.
Stupid Ashhole. I don't know why I find that so fucking amusing. Always teasing me whenever he sees a chance. I'll show him who's tough. You'll probably show him who's probably show him something else too. It's in the timeline. So before going to the Ermengarde Mansion, Isabella Santos dropped by St. Gorody High School and checks on Rebecca Gales. The former remained the latter. Oh, reminded. God damn, what the fuck is up with the font? Seriously. It's like, don't do this fancy shit, because it makes it harder for me to read it. The former reminded the latter to take her flu medicine before leaving. On the way to the mansion, Isabella received a phone call from Ashton. Let me go ahead, that's a Gray. Reminding her of Zachary Steele's movie premiere that night. Shit, I didn't read that. Okay. It takes a few more minutes until I finally reach the infamous mansion. I have to admit, the entire property does look wonderful from the outside. Yeah, I've already said, like 200 years, this looks like a pretty damn good mansion. Yet despite all this, it does nothing to hide that something is just wrong. The surrounding area is unusually quiet, and only the rustling of the leaves can be heard as the occasional breeze passes. While Anselm Village is just a few miles away, everybody keeps their distance on purpose. Perhaps out of fear, the horror of falling under the mansion's curse. Somehow it makes me feel sad. The lack of immediate human presence just makes this place all the more eerie than it has any right to be. It's just uncanny in broad daylight. Can't imagine how this place looks at night. See, that's what we call foreshadowing, but okay.
You planning to go inside that place, Missy?
The voice nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Without completely taking my eyes off the house, I gave the driver a confused nod. A beat passes while I wait for him to say something more, but his answer is a non-committal hum. Belatedly, it occurs to me that he must have been waiting for my payment. I mentally slap myself for space now and promptly hand him the fare with an apologetic look. I expected him to leave as soon as I paid, but there was a hesitant expression on him, as if something hasn't been said yet.
Is there something wrong?
Look, Missy, I'm sure you've heard what the people are telling everyone about that place. Nobody likes to be disturbed when they're at peace, and I'm pretty sure whatever they say is in that house doesn't want to either. I admit they did a good job fixing it up, but there must have been a reason why even distant relatives of the family who used to own the house never lived in there despite inheriting it. No wonder they wanted to get rid of it.
Maybe they just didn't like it?
You never know.
He drives off after, but what he said has left a foreboding feeling in my gut. Yeah. I breathe out a heavy sigh as I approach the house. After hearing enough of the rumors, I should have expected the conversation to take that turn, but I'm already here. Backing out is completely out of the question. Bullshit, you can flag him right back down and get the hell out of there. It's not like I have a choice anyway. If I want to get that bonus and commission one way or the other, I'm going to sell this property. You ain't selling shit. I'd burn this fucker down. The moment something scary happens, I'd burn the fucker to the ground. The door is ajar when I get there. However, while my own copy of the keys, you mean my own spare, my I'm not even gonna correct it. While my own copy of the keys dangled uselessly in my hand. Rose must have left it open when she arrived. That's weird. We may be the only people here this early, but I've never known her as someone so careless. Entering what grates me inside leaves me gaping. It's a poor choice of words, but I'm savoring. I got a bad feeling about this. They cleaned every corner, waxed the floor, dusted the antiques, searched every nook and cranny, nook, crevy, and crevice, and made a spick and span. Made it spick and span. All for the sake of making the mansion look more enticing to the modern day lords and ladies. But no matter how hard they try, the mansion still looks as soulless as ever. As though it's going to eat you alive. Eat you alive. I guess I know what's going to happen if I fuck up. If you ask me, they should have just listened to what other people have been telling them and leave the place alone. Some things in this world are better left alone, never to be disturbed ever again.
Rose? Rose, I'm here. Where are you?
My voice echoes softly through the hallways. Oh, who am I kidding? In a place this big, I don't think she'll hear me no matter how deafening the silence is. She could be all the way on the other side of the property for all I know. Quickly, I reach for my phone and dial her number.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
I was right. She got her ass munched on. What does it mean has not been recognized? We were just talking a while ago. Like she was eaten by the house, right? Or maybe the ghost did hear us talking and spirited her away, right? Right? No, Isabella, don't be ridiculous. Yes, Isabella, be ridiculous. Fucking skepticism and fear, it keeps you from getting your ass chewed on. She probably just wandered deeper into the house and lost signal or something. Yeah, logically, that would logically be my response too. But with a place like this, I'd say fuck that. I dial her number again, hoping the call will connect this time.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
But to no avail. Oh boy, I have a very bad feeling about this. Saving once again.
Rose? If you can hear me, please come out. Come on, Rose! This isn't funny! You know this place gives me the creeps.
No answer. This isn't going to work. This place is big. She can be anywhere. I need to start looking for her. Take a deep breath before venturing deeper into the mansion. Taking a couple steps forward, I notice something move above the grand staircase.
Rose? Rose, is that you? Not funny. I'm leaving you if you don't come out. Not coming out, huh?
Fine, I'm going.
Okay, that was a lie. She's my friend. I can't really leave her until I know she's alright. She's got me there. Growing desperate, I try to contact her number again. Come on, please give me something. Please, Lord.
Hello? Hello? Rose, I'm here at the mansion. Where the hell are you?
She doesn't respond. There's also heavy static coming from her side. I sincerely hope it doesn't get cut off again before I get an answer
Rose,
from her.
come on. Where are you?
A few moments pass until the static eventually grows, starts to crack.
What? The attic? Why?
I ain't going up there. Fuck that, I ain't going up there. With how deep inside the mansion the attic is, there's barely any signal there. No wonder I couldn't get in contact. But why is she there? Out of all places, she just has to make me go to the creepiest room in the place. Is she doing this to get back at me for being late? Whatever. I'll just go. The sooner I meet up with her, the sooner I'll feel better about being here. I carefully make my way up the staircase. My legs wobble as I mentally curse the fact that I've chosen real estate instead of picking a career that doesn't involve strange abandoned houses. Upon reaching the top, the grand hallway greets me. Okay, this looks relatively normal. It branches out two major wings of the mansion, the east and west. The west wing looks like a fucking window, but okay. There are two attics here, one on each side. But the east side has been converted to a storage room of sorts, and somehow I find it least likely that Rose wandered there by herself. Besides, she never did like going into stuffy storage rooms. So I head toward the west wing first. There's a simple wooden door at the end of the hall. Where a simple wooden door at the end of the hall opens to a small room. There we go. Inside is another set of steps leading to the second attic. Unlike the grand staircase, though, the stairs to the attic are steep and narrow, made of old stones and covered in a thick coating of dust that kicks into the air with every step. Thank God it's still daytime. If it wasn't for the light streaming through the door behind me, I might easily stumble and fall. With how old this place is, there's no light fixtures to illuminate the cramped passage up. So y'all mean to tell me that y'all renovated this place and y'all didn't bother to try to, I don't know, hook up electricity, like, you know, do the wires and shit? I mean, I know that this is supposed to be very out of the way, but I mean, come on now. I'm a fucking contractor. I kind of notice this shit. You don't... When you do this shit, when you renovate, and especially, you put... Not going. Not gonna do it. Just play the game. Why they didn't bother to add one here when they renovated escapes me. Sheesh. They did it with the rest of the house. Small bedroom welcomes me at the end. Yeah, this isn't creepy. It looks exactly as it did since the last time I was here, full of dust, worn out, and faded by time. I didn't even have the fucking courtesy to clean out the spider webs and dust the place. Odd, I thought they cleaned everything. No, well, there's my answer. Did the crew miss this room? Ugh, cleanliness is the least of my concerns right now. More pressing matter is Rose. She's not here. Was I dreaming when I talked to her a while ago? Did I mishear her? No, it couldn't have been a dream. After all, the creepy ambience of the estate is doing such a remarkable job of making sure I stay alert and awake. But I'm sure she said she's here. Is this a prank, or maybe the phone call was Rose's last message to me before the curse got her? Shut up, brain, you're not helping. Don't make this scarier than it already is. But she's not here. Then where is she? What the hell was that? That's it. I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving. We must have angered the spirits living here. I knew disturbing the mansion was a bad idea right from the very start. But nobody listened. Oh, fucking, okay. Be fucking realistic, they said. They think I'm cuckoo because I believe in curses and ghosts and all that. Well, I mean... Me and my outlandish backwater country beliefs. I've always strived to be a model employee, but not this time. No! I'm turning back for the sake of my sanity. I'd be doing it for the sake of not getting my ass munched on. I know I'm saying my ass is getting munched on a lot, but that's kind of what I expect to happen. Briar Real Estate can find another agent who is more fucking realistic to tour people around this haunted house. Before leaving, I take one last look at the gloomy old room, just to check.
What's this?
Don't fuck with anything. Just don't do it. My worries about Rose's whereabouts must have caused me to miss this when I first entered the room. But there's clearly something on the floor.
A
It looks
letter?
like... Don't pick it up. This game is called The Letter. Don't fucking do it. Lying on the ground, just a couple inches away from my feet, out of sheer curiosity, I lean down and pick it up. You're dead. Strange. I don't recall seeing this the last time I was here. A few days back, me and a few other agents inspected the mansion to prepare for today. I had been the last to look inside the attic. Something was gonna reach out from under the fucking bed. I already know it. And this certainly hadn't been here before. Someone must have left it in the room since then. Did Rose leave this for me? Was she here a while ago? I couldn't have missed her though, could I? There's only one set of stairs leading to the attic. The letter isn't exactly in pristine condition. In fact, it looks rather ancient. The paper is so thin and rough, I'm worried it'd fall apart if I so much as touch it. But with great care, I open it and read, and what I read shakes me to the core.
What?
I got an achievement called Pass It On.
Oh my god.
Again, you done fucked up. See, this is why you don't do shit like this. If something is saying danger, you don't fucking do it. Come on. Nothing but the words "help me" fills the page, all of it, seemingly written in a crimson shade pen. Lady, that's blood. Or blood. I gulp. The same phrase just goes on until... Send this to 5 people or... Oh, it's one of these. Okay.
Send this to 5 people or else.
Is this where that shit started? You know, send this to 5 people or someone will come kill you because... Fuck all. You know.
Or else what? Or else what?
Give me a second. Journal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can fuck up 5 people. So let's see. I think I'm gonna spare him because he has my name, and just fuck everyone else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can send that to everyone else and then save him because he has my name. Okay. As quickly as I can, I scan the back of the paper and peek into the envelope, make sure I'm not missing out on a second page. But there's nothing.
Oh, please, no.
My hands tremble as dread creeps over me. The room is suddenly getting colder. I need to get out of here. Folding the paper in half, the sight that greets me next has me frozen on the spot. I am not ready for this. Folding the paper in half, the sight that greets me next... Oh, wait a minute. A pair of blood-soaked feet enters my field of vision, covered in gaping wounds, with skin eaten away to reveal flesh and bone, and all manner of things one isn't meant to see. It's too much. All of it's too much. I want to cry and call for help, but the words catch in my throat. Even my feet won't move, completely paralyzed out of fear. Well, praying ain't gonna get you nowhere, and looking up ain't gonna get you nowhere, so it looks like I'm fucked, regardless. Fuck it, be brave. I need to face it. Whoever, whatever these feet belong to, I need to face it. And if I'm gonna die, if they're gonna kill me, at least I'll know what my killer looks like. I was thinking, look like, you know, be brave and look up and then put up some kind of a fight before you die, because, let's face it, you're gonna die. A cold comfort. So with deep breaths, I summon every ounce of courage I have left in me and shit my gaze up. Oh, the bad. Oh, God. What the fuck is going on?
Please, don't hurt me.
God damn.
No!
Without thinking, I scramble toward the door. I struggle to open it, but it won't budge. I'm getting ready to press something.
Stay away! Go away! Please, Lord! Make it go away!
This is why you carry a gun on you, or a knife, or something. Oh shit, I'm just skipping through shit. Why now? Why won't you open? My heart sinks as reality dawns in. I'm locked in. Kick the fucking door. Locked in with that
Let
thing.
me out! Let me out! Lord, please, let me out!
It slowly approaches me as I wrench the doorknob violently back and forth. Shit, I damn near dropped my mouse off the fucking tray, too. That would have been bad, because I'm sitting there on the edge of my fucking bed, like, kind of laying down, propped up. And I just kind of said, fuck the mouse! If I dropped that thing, I would probably break it. Yes! The door finally swings open. I couldn't have been happier. Well, here's the problem with that, though. You still gotta run. And, I don't know, the thing kind of shambled towards you because you were locked in, but now that you're free, it might pull some Evil Within shit and just start mad dashing at you, like a certain thing in Evil Within 2, but we're not touching that. Wasting no time, I leap out the door and don't look back. My feet pound against the floor in rhythm with the loud, fast beating of my heart. By the time I run past the hallway and find myself atop the grand staircase, my chest feels so tight, like it's going to burst. But that's nothing compared to the feeling of hope at the sight the exit gives me. Racing down the stairs, I breathe, a breathy laugh escapes me, and my shoe slips and I find myself falling. You're fucking stupid. Until my back hits the ground and pain racks my body. You're fucked. My head grows fuzzy and my vision dims as I fight to stay conscious. I'll just give in, because, you know, if you just go ahead and die from the fall, then you don't have to feel the horrible sensation of being munched on.
Go away.
See? The last thing I see are those feet before all I know is darkness. Does I be dead? Does I be dead? I ain't saying anything like she's dead, so I mean... A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I've never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the incessant buzzing, poking, and prodding isn't letting me. My old mattress may not have been the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
5 more minutes, Becca.
I swat away at what is nudging persistently at my side. Come on. Can't I just get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. Hand lightly taps my cheek and something cold is suddenly pressed against the back of my head. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me a uncomfortable feeling.
Isabella? Isabella? Stop. Can you hear me? Isabella?
Fog immediately lifts from my mind the moment I recognize the voice and my eyes snap open. You two are fucked, because I'm gonna screw you two over immediately. The other woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture... No, I'm not screwing over Rose, I mean... At least, not before I screw over this other person, because I don't know who the fuck this other person is. I mean, fuck her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she keeps a straight face, or trying to at least. I can't help but feel bad at making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, the feeling subsides after a few seconds, until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With a little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. for an hour. She hands me the ice pack and gestures for me to press it up against the where I suspect a small bump has already formed. If the light ache is in the area, indicates.
All right, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde Mansion. Why? Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
15, 14, 13, 12. No, that's wrong. Why are we doing this?
She's just checking if your injury is in any way serious.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of... It's like the few times that I've dealt with someone getting hit in the head, I was, hey, what's your name? What's my name? Not my name. What's your name? What's your mother's name? You know, if I knew them. Otherwise, I ask them what's today's date and who's the president. This time, I curiously regard the woman standing beside her. It's impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. She looks about the same height, I mean, slightly taller. But here I thought Rose was already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? I don't think she's a cleaning crew. But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone would want to clean in a suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like our supervisor during evaluation.
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily, but recite everything that she has asked me. Rose releases a breath of relief.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance. Are you alright?
Exasperation soon filled, English, and I'm fucking hitting the damn thing. Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic, and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews. The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute...
No, not any of those. I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first...
Both Rose and the lady gave a look at me like I've grown another head. Did I say something weird? Rose quickly casts an apologetic smile at the woman before the awkward silence stretches any further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. I should show this to troublesome clients, or I should show this to troublesome clients, or just avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the same one she gave me when I was done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and with as much patience as she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call. Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really all right? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's... whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down.
Well, I mean... yeah.
Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open. We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump on the head. You know, I actually have heard stories of a minor bump on the head turning into someone being in a grave. So, yeah, that's not the best of ideas. An extremely minor bump. Turn that to major because you fell down a flight of stairs. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing. You ain't had shit when you was a kid.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house. Alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also the part that where I may lose that bonus BRC promise, but that's completely beside the point. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. Ugh, reading. I have to use the staircase railings and remind myself. I have to use the staircase's railings to steady myself, but otherwise, I feel fine. There we go. English.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance as Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation. If she says no...
you in.
You're dead. You're getting fucked. I'm fucking you over so horribly. You didn't let me leave. I would have fucking left the moment she said okay. I was hoping, but then again, there wouldn't be a story if they just let me leave. Of course, then again, it also said, give this to 5 people and you won't die. So, yeah. That's great.
If I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
No, thank you, Rose. You just... fuck it.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
He's right. Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is, but not in a scary, negative way. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. At our lack of response, she coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my throat as to the side of it, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Miss
McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
Marianne McCulloch? I don't even know how to pronounce that. I mean, I listened to it and I can't do it. And what the fuck is up with the email? What the fuck is up with the number? Interior designer catches my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably someone interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her though. Despite the hearsay and remaining inhabitants uninhabitants for years, the mansion's original fittings and furnitures have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that a tip to the find that trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, the place could also be a haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm.
Miss McCullough, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough. In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please...
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just dropped by for a quick survey of the place. I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Rose's confusion is impossible to miss when she glances at me, and I return it with an equally perplexed look. And against my better judgment, I blur out the first question.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but It's instantly disappeared under a mask of professional detachment. Yeah, pompous is what that is.
Yes. Hannah Wright? I was hired by her to handle the interior design for their newly bought home. This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Suddenly, Rose nudges me with her elbow. Check with the supervisors. That's all I can say is check with the supervisors. That's the logical thing. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze at me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business. Well, I mean, I screw up plenty when I'm working, so... That's beside the point. I don't know where I was... there was a joke I had in my head, and it just kind of disappeared as fast as it fucking went. Or came in, so...
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I finished. She appears to be a reasonable person, anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'd surely understand.
I thought something looked odd when I arrived here. Excuse me, I think I need to make a call to my secretary. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us. That seemed to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted. Yeah. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job. I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxembourg office and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I'll be very frustrated if for some reason something has already been decided without my or Rose's knowledge. That is a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard for this. Moments later, Miss Micalo returns, looking a little frustrated, but with apology clear on her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Certainly. You can stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double-check those papers.
Okay, got it.
Alright, journal updated. The two of them disappear behind the parlor. Their departure brings with it a stillness to keep my company, neither welcoming nor comforting. Alone like this, it's impossible not to think of what really happened. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said that she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just paranoia? Temporary lapse after having heard all those tales about this place? I cannot remember the medical term, but that would be something like a psychosis episode or something? I don't know. But either way, that's bad. Regardless, probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in peace. I'm gonna die. She's denying the truth, people. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I second that, honestly. After seeing... I didn't expect to see what I fucking saw. I mean, I was expecting something fucked up, but that honestly just kind of... like one of those things that just kind of sears into your fucking mind whenever you see it. I don't know what it is, I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The key Rose gave me, the keys Rose have just... okay, so it's not just me. Okay, I had to go back and read that a few times. The keys Rose has just handed me dig into my palm. Its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I'm clenching it. Someone used fucking grammar. It's a reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer across my body, I exit the house to get what Rose asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money, and we're about to die. They turned this up, it's almost here. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time... well, shit, now we got plenty of fucking people we can give that letter to. Just walk up, you know. I don't know, be inconspicuous about it, you know. It's like, you see someone, you know, you see someone talking and then you just walk up, put the letter behind, like behind them, and, I don't know, they fucking see it, they pick it up, they don't know it's from you, so you're good. They'll have that fucking paranoia trip. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel... ooh, excuse me. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed in the nines, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, composed in a medium-sized crowd. Their neck, arms, and fingers are banded with are adorned. That would be horrible if they banded their fingers and arms and their necks. God damn. Adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. That's rich people for you. I really hope there aren't any magpie? What the fuck is a magpie? Whatever. Living nearby, like in the stories, those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring amongst themselves. God damn, I'm tired. God damn, excuse me. Can't stop yawning. Looking at the state's facade appraisingly with some argue about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops when Roses calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased about being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Hearing this, a few wander to me. There are mostly ladies who have seemed daunted by the idea of climbing all those stairs. Oh, please. Oh god, they do look fucking... ugh, don't. Miss Mikalo also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
They must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine or television. Can't quite remember. But again, most of our guests are have likely ended up on the news one way or the other. I won't be surprised if those two already have. For people who are popular enough, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in the group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. I'd think they are brother and sister if it weren't for their public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Whatever, couple or not, what's important is getting this deal closed before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, the papers in hand, I lead the way. We are fucking everyone in this group over. I'm serious. Please tell me I have a choice to bring them to that damn room. I will fuck them all up. When they aren't whispering amongst themselves or going ooh and ah over every one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answered them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture, mostly. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. Yeah, that's a good idea. Not to mention material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxembourg knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty. Even the glass thing, colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Even glass thing? What, you mean the stained glass window?
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Small. Okay.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
It is splendid, ma'am.
Story updated. No, I don't want to load. I don't want to spoil it.
But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into the retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room in particular looks amazing, like the ones I've only seen in fairy tale books. And man, props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining of bricks and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this'll be, they still managed to pull it off. Well, I mean, the fact that they were able to clean a fucking 17th century mansion is amazing, honestly. Or make it look presentable.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
I wouldn't fucking go in there, I don't know. That fucking crazy bitch might be in there.
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in the gray suit speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright. That's what I thought. I wonder, can I change, well, it seems like I can. My memory supplies from Mr. Luke Wright. My memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about the basement? I don't really understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who's seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. On a grown man, it's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
God damn! You don't need that much fucking alcohol! Fucking hell.
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar had been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
This isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it. We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's contemplative... There's a English contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything. Further, his wife, however, really seems pleased that he started to show interest, if only a little. I smiled to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score. I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than a half an hour, we're able to cover mostly every room on the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a possible sale. That's backmasked. Yeah, that audio is backmasked to hell, and I have no way of unmasking it, so it's fucking creepy. This screams like, yeah. Bitch is gonna pop out the fireplace, just like, hello, I'm Santa Claus. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone. When I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting a break anyway. If I
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I'll let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably could just caught Becca's cold. Just don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer, until a hand taps on
Hello, you there? Yes, ma'am? Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting. Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job. What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
She's not on here, so I suspect she's going to Like, okay, so Luke is on here, but she isn't, so I get the feeling that she's going to get killed. Or she's one of the expendable characters, so yeah.
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right? Please, just Hana. Call me Hana.
Never mind, she is on there. I'm still gonna fuck her over.
I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. A sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? She looks at me expectingly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she's just tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
That wasn't an insult. That was more of me doing my fucking job, but...
And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
Honestly, I'd rather fuck over an old lady than someone who's young, so, I mean, yeah.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? I know, cats are fucking awesome. More importantly, why is she talking about moving in?
Well, I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon. And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork. We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
God,
what would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
Try not to wince when she digs her... I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. Story updated. You know, I noticed a little butterfly, so it's going off a butterfly effect is what it is. I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss Callow, who only gives me an apologetic smile and shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time taking the paperwork in my hand and shuffling through the bunch. Branch, what the fuck am I talking about? Oh man, Rose is going to get so angry for letting me, angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel. Isabella.
Isabel.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
Oh, I don't like you.
It's Isabella. Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
Oh! Yep, all three of them are fucked. That's 3 people now. but that's also not exactly the best place to put it. You know, now that I think about it, that probably just popped up in the stag, like, magically or some shit. I mean, curse and all. A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, she merely shrugs in reply.
An interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
You know, I actually agree with him on
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
Well, that's 3 people.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, ma'am.
So I still got a choice between, So basically, I gotta find someone else to fuck over. Great.
Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to look puzzled. What does that mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up, but the way Ma'am Hannah headed leading the conversation, I'm afraid what exactly will happen if...
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
You know, I just realized 3 people seeing this shit, so that means that thing is going to appear to these 3, and it's probably going to do so at the worst time, and I'm going to be able to see it, and then I'm going to have to tap Z again, or some other thing. So I'm going to go ahead and set up where I can tap the button without, you know, throwing my shit all on the floor.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me the strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. Sighs crinkle in my grip as my dread quickly fills
Isabella?
my mind.
Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that no, I'm not all right. I want to leave this place because I remember everything as clear as day. Story updated. This letter and that woman in the attic, it's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I must have been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? I don't want to, but on the same hand, I also don't want to die. Ah, shit. Ah, fucking hell. Oh, find someone else.
Rose,
Oh, that actually increased her thing? I don't know. The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her, I really do. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in the attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Well, correction, it's going to go after you. It's going to go after you, and you. And frankly, I don't really give a shit about these 2 characters. I kind of like you, so I kind of sad about that.
Dear me, is Isabella all right?
It's Isabella! Ma'am Hannah's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down at me, worried etched on her features. I didn't even notice when she had removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down. I hope she doesn't look at that paper. Sit me down. At the edges of my vision, I can also make out Mrs. Calloway's asking a passing food server for a glass of water. English sack, damn. Though it's through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. And that's just some people being assholes, is what that is. I mean, seriously. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. Yeah, not very. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
You know what? I wouldn't take her up on that offer, because if I end up getting in that ambulance and that thing shows up, I got no escape, so... She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air, anything to take my mind off things. No one's gonna believe me anyway.
I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff and make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble for Rose. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on her face, on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. Tell me you didn't look at that, you stupid motherfucker. I was trying to help you. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back to me, but I take it, nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can, but I have this nagging feeling about that, feeling that one way or the other, it'll find its way back to me, regardless of what I do.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly, and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery, but I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stopped.
Wait, no, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere. I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She claps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand, to some extent. That doesn't mean I feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Okay. At the memory, both burst into helpless giggles, earning as strange looks at the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, so it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
Are we good?
I'm still not okay with this, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this for no more.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxbourne myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who will fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can even voice one word of complaint. Alright, shit's about to hit the fan. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained-glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies gather some ways across from me, is accompanied by a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. A little argument here, an occasional laughter and teasing there. I smiled myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing the past few months. Rose is completely right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. What are you gonna bribe him with? I mean, not that he'll ever accept the latter. Personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendencies to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works. A free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers, asking for a decent signal later. The call finally connects.
Shit! Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out! Can't beat me.
Shit, how loud is this thing even?
Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy.
Oh shit, I just realized what was going on.
I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out! Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City.
Okay, so I'm just letting that play so I can hear it.
Looking for trouble?
Sharp ringing fills the entire hall,
cool dude.
disrupting the pleasant quiet. I said, soon enough, heads begin to search for the source, mine included.
Looking for trouble?
Ours
Better
start
not
around.
lie. I'm a cool dude. Pretty fly for an Asian guy.
I just realized.
Sup, I'm Ash from
Okay, so what I was thinking was it was like a speaker or something, but if she's looking around, I get the feeling he's already there.
I'm a cool
My eyes dart around from a small crowd before zeroing in on a lone figure crouched behind the same group of old people.
Baggers, watch out!
He's facing away from me from something in his hands.
Cool dude. Pretty
But I don't need to see his face to know whose back it is. Oh, I recognize that dumb park anywhere. Without bothering to end the call, I marched toward him. What happens after what happened today? I'm really not in the mood to deal with this.
Of all the times to
Ashton Frey!
It's Frey. What happens next is something I'm surely regret later for not having recorded. Yeah, probably.
Ah!
What the fuck was that? He jumps, letting out an undignified yell, followed by his phone slipping from his grasp. It bounces with one hand to the other hand. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it, but unfortunately falling flat on the floor with a sounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone and the floor, but it's not every day that I catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. I blink. Cough. He makes a face. And then, in a too quick motion, he ducks to retrieve his abused gadget while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes as he straightens, but a flush that has crept up his neck and cheeks. I can't. I just have to laugh at this whole situation. In another universe, where we had known each other for 5 years, and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'd find that adorable, endearing even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected.
Hello to you too, Scaredy Cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
I like how he popped up his ash hole.
What? And missed that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat has swallowed the canary. Canary, there we go. Suddenly, checking every nook and cranny on his phone for any damage and scratches seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining
Ash?
himself.
I could be looking to buy a house.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I followed his gaze, but before I can figure out what caught his attention, he placed a hand on my shoulder and turns me back.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. At my confused look, he drops his hand resting on my arm, like he has touched something particularly hot, and casually rubs back.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown on my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. God knows how many times he has helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe those, even if he hears it from a friend. Especially me, except maybe if it's from Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you every single chance he gets. Ashhole. What did I do to deserve him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a word of what I saw. Nope, over my dead body. It's a very peculiar choice of words, lady. Before it catches my attention, I shove the letter... Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into the bag.
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
Good, I fucked off. That's what I was saying since the beginning of the game. I mean, seriously. Oops. A rush of air greased me as soon as the main doors opened. Not the unusual autumn draft, but it's still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes slumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. Mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoing. I don't think leaving is an option. I don't look back. You know, I was sitting here saying leaving, like leave and survive, but after that, I don't think leaving is an option. Like, seriously. Or maybe it is. I spend the ride back to Luxembourg City in a relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. Occasionally, Ash would reach out and fiddle with it until the signal settles in, or it's on a respectable volume. But otherwise, he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, it's the if the furtive glances he's been sending my way are signs, I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I kept my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside in small hope that my disinterest would dissuade him. All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment from the inside. It hits me cleanly in the chin before I can make a move to catch it. A small package makes a small landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
I glare and send him wipes. God damn! English, motherfucker, do you speak it? I glare. God damn. The glare I send him wipes the smirk about to form cleanly off his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. There we go. I swear he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I didn't even get a chance to deny that. I didn't even get a chance to deny it because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly and empty. And an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprises there, I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after, I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feeling's new to me though. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years growing up. Thanks, and then I tore open the packaging and started nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from the acknowledging nod, Ash didn't say anything after the small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag you.
How'd the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really, no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job, which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca. Anyhow, you're hell-bent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me.
God damn. He's pretty fucking smart. He's not entirely wrong. He's fucking right. Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
His answer is a small laugh. The kind that screams, I'm right, I told you so. I hate it when he
I'll
does
have
that.
you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property.
Honestly, I'd have took that damn deal, to sell the house right off.
So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. Story update. Why, of all times, did I have to screw up like that in front of an important customer, no less? You know what? Fuck it, I am checking the, branching tree. Well, actually, before I do that. Okay, so that was a possible end. That, well, obvious. Be brave, look up, don't look up. Okay, so apparently that leads back to the common route. We'll check with supervisors, I don't know. Story update. Okay. Seems like everything's... yeah, everything's, going well. So chapter 1 is Isabella, and... okay, so chapter 6 is Ashton, and honestly, I'm interested in playing with Ashton, because I fucking... so far, I like him. Got a cool demeanor. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she did. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
No.
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa.
What is the story behind the body in the sofa? Seriously, that's just been a fucking nagging question for me.
Or is it the wardrobe this time?
He meant that as a joke, but no. But how close to the truth? But how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold in my own heartbeat, as heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Not angry. Just... stuff happened.
Like?
Things.
That's a fucking me response.
Did they do anything? Your clients. The rights, was it?
I can't answer that. At least not without revealing anything that took place in the attic. I don't want to lie, and at the same time, I don't want to be blatantly obvious. Shit. Fuck it.
You keep asking me about my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours.
Well, I suppose that was a good idea because, you know, now that I think about it, after seeing that, he does say that he can read people, so he'd know that I was lying.
That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else. Changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him. Besides, it never works with him. I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it, or because he's really very good at his job. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over me and returning it back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow of the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash is taking the longer route. Odd, but he's probably trying to avoid the rush hour traffic.
Didn't we just talk a week ago over chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation.
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Shut up! And you aren't answering my question.
That earns him a soft punch on the arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction knowing that I find most of them funny. It'd only make his head bigger. Stupid Ash. Hole.
Alright. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
He's a detective? Oh shit. Here recounts what he's been doing in the time we haven't seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, the big case he's been stuck working on. Stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we catch up. Stuff he could mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it is the trimmed down version. Only things he can tell, he has always been careful about that. Even in the way he spins his answer to my question, just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point his voice takes on a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case. But I won't dwell on it much. Oh shit, something just come up. I gotta go. Well, that was fun while it lasted. Save. Alright, well, that was a long one, so. Alright. What the hell? Thank God that was fucking censored. That they censored that. Alright. So, that's the letter. That's part 1 at least. So, if you liked the video, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!